Do you like tacos? Then you probably like cilantro. So today I'm going to show you how you can grow cilantro microgreens just like these. So stay tuned for the full walkthrough. Anytime I think of cilantro, I think of tacos. I love tacos. Okay, so let's go over everything that we're gonna need for this grow. So first, we're going to need our seed. We're using the Leisure Split Cilantro, the organic version from Tree Leaf Market. The reason why we're using the split seed is because it's supposed to get better germination than using the whole seeds, and we've gotten some great results with this. Next, you're going to need your trays. So for this grow, we're going to need our bottom tray, which is a no-hold 10-20. And that way, whenever we put water into it, it doesn't get everywhere and you're not having to clean up that mess. Next, you're gonna need a tray that has little slits in it like this, or even a mesh tray if that's what you prefer to use. And that way our water can actually go up into the tray and water our crop. And then lastly, you're gonna need your top tray, which is another no-hold 10-20, which will later sit on top of this. So I'm gonna set that out of my way real quick, and let's move on to the actual seed and weighing. Today we're going to be using 10 grams of seed, which is roughly 1.5 tablespoons. And also the smell of this, it smells exactly like Fruity Pebbles. It is so good, it makes me want to eat a bowl of cereal right now, but we do not have that. So now that we have our seed measured out, I'm gonna go ahead and put some of the grow medium in this, and I'm gonna use Coco Coir. It just provides the best results for me, so that's what we're gonna use. And what we're also going to do is we're not gonna fill this tray up all the way quite yet. We're just gonna fill it up part way, and then we're gonna put our seed on and then put another layer of cocoa on top of that. So let me get on to that. I've gone ahead and put a little bit of the cocoa into this tray now. And what I'm going to do is, if you can look over here, this side's a little bit higher than some other spots on this. So I'm just gonna try to make that a little bit more even. And that way everything is nice and flat. You don't have to get it absolutely perfect. You just don't want a bunch of low spots or some really high spots. So just do your best. Okay. That's pretty good. So now we're going to take our 10 grams of seed, and you just want to try to get this as even as possible. So what you want to do is just make sure that you don't have a bunch of areas where it's big clumps, because what will end up happening is as these actually begin to grow, you'll have areas where there's not enough circulation of air, which can cause problems like mold, and you just want to try to avoid grouping your seeds. Okay, perfect. Oh, 2 more. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my cocoa, take my scooper that I have here, and take a scoop of this and just kind of put it on here first. Needs a tiny bit more. All right, that should be good. So now if there's any big clumps, just try to break those apart. Okay, and then next just take your cocoa and lightly move it across your seed, so that way you no longer see your seed. And you want the medium to basically come just below the line of your tray. You don't want it to overflow. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to very lightly pat it. I'm not really giving much pressure at all, but just enough to make it where the seeds can kind of push through that medium a little bit harder. And now what I'm going to do is water it. So I have my tap water, which is connected to this little sprayer right here, and I have this set on the mist setting. And this is actually a new sprayer for us, which is working really good, so I don't have to do too much. And you just want to give this a nice, good watering all across the medium. Okie doke. So that should be perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that last tray that we have and I'm going to put it right on top, just like that. And I'm actually going to grab a 15-pound paver once I move my table a little bit out of the way. And we're going to place that directly on top of the tray. So now all we do is put it on our shelf to germinate. And for the next few days, once in the morning and once at night, I'm going to come out, I'm going to give it a nice good mist across the top. And then whenever it is time to pull that brick off, I will see you then. Today is day 6 of our cilantro grow. So let me pull this off the shelf. We're going to remove our brick. And let's see what we have going on. Ooh, look at that. So right away, when I pulled off that, first off, I can smell the cilantro smell. Second, the whole tray is looking really great on germination. It's really even. And because I'm actually seeing them poke up just enough where the little yellow leaves are starting to come out right now, that tells me that this is time to go into the light. So with cilantro, we do not do a blackout with it. The reason is because these do grow very tall on their own. And if we were to do a blackout on it, what would happen is they would get so tall that they would start falling over, and we don't want that. So let's go ahead and get these put into light. So generally whenever we introduce our microgreens into the light is when we begin bottom watering this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give these half a cup of our ocean solution water mixture. So let me go ahead and get that real quick. Got super happy looking roots. I'm just going to kind of tilt this back just a little bit, and that way everything gets its ocean solution. So I will be watering this twice a day from this point on, once in the morning and once at night. I'm very, very excited to see how this crop turns out. I think it's going to be a perfect grow. So I'll see you guys on harvest day. Today is day 17 of our cilantro grow, and it is harvest day. Right away, I'm noticing that we have absolutely no seed holes whatsoever on our crop, which is our main thing that we were aiming for. On top of that, we got perfect germination and everything is looking even. And look at all those true leaves. That's what makes cilantro so noticeable as a crop, is those beautiful, beautiful true leaves. Now that we have this grow exactly where we want it, we are going to harvest it. One thing that I would suggest is you could actually harvest it on day 13 if that's what you want, or you can harvest it closer to day 17 like I am. The reason why I'm harvesting it on day 17 is because it gave me more true leaf, which made this a lot prettier in my opinion. So I waited a little bit longer. Now let's move on to the supplies you're gonna need to harvest this. Over here, I have my knife. This knife has been working wonders for us. And it's also green, which is awesome because it's March and it's almost St. Patrick's Day. So this goes perfectly with the theme for this month. And next, we need something to harvest into. You can just do a regular bag if that's what you want. I have a bag with a bowl to hold my microgreens so they don't fall over. And we have a scale to take our data. So first I'm going to turn that on, make sure it's zeroed out, and we are golden. Now what I'm going to do is lightly hold this and just give it a nice clean swoosh through. And I'm trying my best not to go too low so that way I don't get a bunch of medium in it like that, and also not hold too hard or you're going to pull the roots out. So let's kind of shake that off, and look at how beautiful that is. Cilantro microgreens are absolutely gorgeous. And oh, there's that smell. You can already smell that. That makes me really hungry because for me, anytime I think of cilantro, I think of tacos. I love tacos. And also whenever I make chicken dishes, I usually use cilantro in some of the seasoning. So for me, it just brings up so many different food memories. And it's making me very, very hungry. Oop. For the longest time, cilantro was a crop that I could not figure out. We actually tried to grow this a few different ways before we found this way. And I remember it was very frustrating because we couldn't get good germination. And I was like, man, I didn't know cilantro was going to be that hard to grow. But now that we have figured it out, we've gotten really great consistency growing it this way. And now I'm able to get gorgeous trays just like this, which makes me very, very happy. Okay, now we're down to our last little section. And we are at 94 grams of cilantro. In my hands, all I can smell is cilantro on them. It smells so good. Do a little taste test. Oh, and before I forget, that was 3.3 ounces. Okay, now it's taste test time. That tastes really good. So it tastes very much like cilantro. It has a lot of that powerful flavor that you expect to have from cilantro. And I think that this is going to go great on some tacos later because I already cooked chicken last night. And I know that I can cut that up and put this right on top and it's going to be perfect. That is it for our cilantro full walkthrough. I think that we did an amazing job getting this crop exactly to where we want it. It had no seed holes, perfect height, and the flavor was amazing. So I really hope that you guys also have great success with this as well. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you dislike it, give it a thumbs down. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the section below. If you'd like to subscribe to us, it pops up at the end of this video. And we have a Facebook and Instagram. They're both at On The Grow Farms. And we now have a website that has a ton of great information. And that is www.onthegrow.net. So keep on believing.